Hi, this is David Stanko for AmericanSalon.com. Join me every other week to hear me interview industry celebs and other interesting folks.
Hey everyone, it's David Stanko here in New York City for American Salon, Voices That Matter, and I'm thrilled to bring you one of my best friends and a voice that matters in the industry, the hottest girl in the world right now, Miss Tracey Cunningham. Hey Tracey, how are you?
Hi, I'm good.
So I know you're at work and you're super busy and you've got a lot going on. So I just want everyone to get to know you a little bit. So I put a few questions together. Where are you from originally?
I'm from Seattle.
And you live in LA now, right?
I do. I have for the past 20-something years.
Okay, and you co-own your own salon called Mesh. Is that correct, Miss Cunningham?
Yes.
And before you owned your own salon, what were some of the salons you worked at beforehand?
Well, the first salon I ever worked at was at G. Morez in Seattle when I was about 17. I would do the laundry, wash the towels, and fold them and serve people coffee and tea, and I thought it was the coolest job ever.
People want to know about you, and they want to know how the heck do you keep the schedule that you keep? I mean, you're in the salon, you're flying around international for celebrities and social lights, run out and do house calls.
You know what?
How do you...
When you've been poor before, you don't say no to jobs. I was a single mom, and I've had to pay for private school and everything. And at first, it wasn't just paying for private school; it was just trying to, support us, because it was just me and him. So, it was really important to me. If I got an opportunity, I wasn't going to say no. I wasn't going to be like, oh, yeah, I can take you in I can't do today. I'll take you in a week. Sometimes I watch these people and how they manage their schedules, and I think, no wonder you're not successful. And sometimes people will say to me, Tracey, you need to have boundaries. And I'm like, hey, how's that working out for you? You and your boundaries.
Yep.
So
good piece of advice.
I'm in the service business, and I'm here to serve, and I'm good at it.
So how does your health play a role in keeping up that pace?
Well, I probably do more base colors than anybody has ever done in their lifetime. And I would do 40 people a day. Now I kind of keep it to about 30 because I'm trying to, take care of myself. I'm trying not to I keep air purifiers next to my station, just try to keep my environment very clean. We built an outdoor station for the Brazilian blowout guy and anybody who does Brazilian blowout, because we want the environment clean and healthy for everyone. But as far as me working out, I'm trying to put it in my schedule a little bit more. What's really helped me in my health is getting off sugar, thanks to Cameron Diaz and her body book. She kept saying to me, if you're pre-diabetic, you better get off sugar. And I was like, I don't even know where to begin. And she's like, well, I gave you my book a long time ago. Why don't you read it? So no one was happier when I came back from my endocrinologist appointment, and he told me that I was no longer pre-diabetic. So I called her right away, and she was super proud of me.
Yeah, you and I were just together this week in New York doing a press event, and you look terrific. So I think everyone that
Thank
saw
you.
the Instagram images of you and I would say the same thing. You look terrific. And you and I are no spring
Yeah,
chickens
I
anymore, aren't
feel
we?
so much better.
That's good. I might try that. No sugar. That's going to kill my
Yeah,
chocolate
why not?
caramel candy bar addiction, but I'll work on it.
Sugar is the one thing. Sugar is the one thing that will double your cancer cells within 24 hours. If you are, it's like if you have any kind of cancer, the doctors will tell you to get off sugar to eliminate it because it will, stop the spreading.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
interesting. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of stats like that, I mean, that's a mistake in one's life. What do you think some of the biggest mistakes that colorists make in their career? I mean, like startup colorists or even, senior colorists. What are some of the biggest mistakes you see?
Sometimes I watch videos on Instagram of people doing color, and it literally scares me, David, doing things that are so wrong. But I also see a lot of really good work out there. But the one thing that I feel like that colorists need is education. Because, I mean, listen, in LA and New York, you have to assist. Maybe in some other bigger cities like Chicago or Miami, I don't know. But I know in LA and New York, you have to assist to get a good job. And all the other places, you literally get your beauty license and you go on the floor. So you're just winging it. Not saying that when I went on the floor, I wasn't winging it. I felt like, but at least I had an education. At least I watched my boss make all the mistakes and learn from those mistakes. And then once you go on the floor and you're on your own, you're like practicing on people. You're making tons of mistakes and learning from them, but it's, you want to do the best that you can do. And I say education, education, education. And don't follow some of these weird videos online.
Yeah, I think you and I are similar in that regard. We both like to do pretty saleable work that makes us money. I think that's where we come together a lot.
Yes. But saying that, I have really good friends that base their whole career on crazy colors. You're doing just fine. So
I know.
You attract what audience you want.
And I have so much respect for the people that can do those crazy colors and make them look amazing. I really do.
Yeah.
So
I do
cool.
too.
What's the number one requested salon service that you do?
Highlight.
Highlighting?
Highlight. Yeah.
What's your favorite product when you highlight?
Flash lift bleach, and people always say it's not bleach, it's hair lightener. Okay, well guess what? 2 years old as I am, it's bleach. Okay?
Right. And for those of you listening to Tracey and I, Tracey works with Redken as the creative consultant. So Flash Lift is a Redken lightener. But you're right. When you're as old as me too, I just call it bleach. I work at Louis Licari and Rodney Cutler, and Louis just does bleach highlights all day long. He's not hung up on all the words. Let's say you have a new request for you and you don't have time. How do you keep that client in the salon? Who do you send them to? What's your way of keeping them in the salon if you can't do their hair color?
Well, people say, oh, you should clone yourself. And I say, I did. I cloned myself with Liz. Liz is my clone. I think Liz is better than me now because she's so excited. When you're young and excited?
But I remember you telling me once that you had a guy that you hired because you saw his work on Instagram.
That's true.
Tell me that story real quick.
He came in and he was like, I really want to work for you. I want to work here. And I was like, good luck. Everybody does. And it was, because when you open a salon in LA, the first thing that happens is that, you fill it up. And it was just one of those things where we filled up right away. There was a moment when Neil got scared and said, I'm going to stop. I'm going to stop hiring people for a minute because I'm afraid that we're hiring too many people. And what if somebody really good comes along and we can't hire them, which happens. And it's so hard. But it just so happened that this girl quit and we had an opening, and Neil said, why don't we hire Chris Green? I love his Instagram. And so we did, and he's been awesome. And, and people are like, well, I've never heard of him. And I'm like, well, the front desk will say to them, well, why don't you look it up on Facebook? On Instagram. And they do, and they called up and they say, sure, we'll see him. So that's pretty cool. I like that.
Yeah, that's a good story that, he actually puts color
and,
worthy.
it's hard for people like us, we're a little older, and, the people we've known, the people that we've gone up with, that I would like to be seeing them do super well because, we've known them for so long and they're so experienced and so amazing, but they don't have Instagram accounts. Or they do, and they've got 5 pictures up. They do just to look at other people's Instagram because they don't even know where to begin. And they're better than these kids that are, taking these photographs with filters and curls. They all do the same exact curls on all of their clients, and they photograph them in, perfect lighting and then put a filter on it, and everyone thinks that they're great. I mean, listen, it's good to get clients in, but it's always about, keeping the client, having the client come back. But, David, don't you know people that, that are so good and they're slow?
Yeah.
Because the new internet has, I have to tell you, I am so fucking grateful for Jen Atkin. I fucking love that girl so much. I can't even tell you. And she is like an inspiration to me. She is so amazing. And she told me, she took me to dinner. We were just taking our first trip to Dubai. I'd already gone to Dubai several times. And I told the door, I was like, you're going to love Jen. I want you to meet her. They met. She fell in love with her. End of story. Jen calls me and says, let's go to dinner and talk about Dubai. And she's like, you have to, I checked out your Instagram account, and your name is 4cats44. And I was taking pictures of my cat and my kid because, every chance I get when I'm with my son, I take pictures of him. And
sure,
I was like a stalker. And, my cats don't mind if I take pictures of them. So whatever. Anyways, and they're just so cute. Can't take it. But anyways, Jen said, please change your name to Tracey Cunningham. Well, it was taken, so I had to put Tracey Cunningham 1. And then I was like, well, what am I going to do? It was really like a jumping off moment where I was like, well, what am I going to do? You feel so stupid. How am I going to represent myself? And then I thought, one of my assistants accused me of always doing the same thing over and over again. And
right,
I said,
on your clients, you mean?
I do the same thing over and over again because all people do is show me the same exact pictures all day long. And I'm like, but here's the difference with me and you judging me on it. When there's a color correction that comes in, I know exactly what to do. You can do highlights. Anyone can do pretty highlights on a virgin head, a touch-up, whatever. But when there's a color correction that walks through the door, I'm good at them. I'm really good at them. I'm like a doctor. So that's what I want my assistants to be. I want my assistants to be even better at them than I am. But so I went back to the fact that I do the same thing over and over again, and she's right. And maybe what I should start doing is posting my formulas because they can help people. And so that's how that all began. And I was my cousin was getting her hair done some random place, and she said, oh, the hairdresser there said that she uses your formulas all the time and they really work. And I'm like, yeah, of course they work because they're real. I don't lie. I want to share with people. And it's just been it's been cool. It's been really cool to be helpful to people.
Yeah, I mean, I follow you, and you and I swap clients back and forth, and Tile and Michelle that work in your salon will send clients to me, and I send clients to them. And I always, they take a picture of their formula card and send it to me, and I follow that to the T, and it teaches me, it teaches me stuff. So, yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey, how many
for sure.
clients do you see on average? How many clients do you see a day?
I feel like now I'm breaking it down to about 30 a day. Not 40.
Yeah.
I'm not being crazy anymore.
And how many assistants do you like to work with to get you through that?
Hey, you guys, I have to put a base on my client right now.
Okay.
But you know what? I've got to formulate it first. So hold on a second. I'll talk to you while I'm formulating it.
Okay. I'll tell you what. I'll let you off the hook. Everybody out there, anytime you get the chance to see Tracey Cunningham, follow her on Instagram. She's right now talking to one of her assistants, but she's the Tracey Cunningham numeric 1 on Instagram. And she tells the truth in her formula.
Not the Tracey Cunningham. I'm Tracey Cunningham.
Oh, sorry. I'm the David Stanko because someone from Serbia had my name.
Cunningham. Tracey Cunningham. Cunningham and the number 1. Not because I think I'm number 1. It was because it was already taken.
Right.
So, David, I love you. I love talking to you. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
David?
And American Salon listeners, Tracey's going to do a webinar. Her and I are talking about doing a class together. So keep your eye on Tracey Cunningham 1 on Instagram. You'll learn tons. Tracey, I love you. Have a good day in LA.
If you go on Tracey Cunningham, TraceyCunningham.com, you can look up all my classes. I have a webinar coming out July 10th, but you can buy it on demand afterwards, even.
Okay.
Bye.
See ya. All right. Thank you, American Salon listeners. To Voices That Matter, Ms. Tracey Cunningham. I'll see you guys later. Take care.